and we have enjoined upon man care for his parents. His mother carried him, increasing her in weakness upon weakness, and his weaning is in 2 years. Be grateful to me and to your parents. To me is the final destination. In the village of Al-Firdaus, nestled amidst sprawling fields and rivers, lived a young man named Bilal. He was intelligent, ambitious, and hardworking, traits that helped him rise quickly in the world of business. But as his career flourished, the time he spent with his elderly parents dwindled. His focus on building wealth and status began to overshadow the care and respect he once gave them. This story follows Bilal's journey as he rediscovers the value of respecting and obeying his parents, with lessons drawn from the Quran that guide him back to his roots. Bilal had always been a dreamer. From a young age, he aspired to be successful and bring honor to his family. His father, Harith, and his mother, Maryam, supported him in every way they could. They worked hard to ensure Bilal received a good education, often sacrificing their own comforts so he could pursue his dreams. Years later, Bilal's hard work paid off. He became a successful businessman, known for his intelligence and sharp decision-making. He owned multiple properties, had a growing fortune, and was admired by many. But in the pursuit of success, Bilal's priorities shifted. Where once he was humble and dedicated to his family, he now found himself consumed by the demands of his career. His parents noticed the change. Harith and Maryam often sat together in the evenings, reminiscing about the days when Bilal would spend time with them, listening to their stories and seeking their advice. Now, it seemed, his visits were brief and his mind always preoccupied with work. Though they were proud of his success, they felt a growing distance that troubled them deeply. Maryam, Bilal's mother, was a gentle soul. She had dedicated her life to raising her son with love and care. As she grew older, her health began to decline. She often felt weak and tired, but did not share her concerns with Bilal, knowing how busy he was. One evening, as she sat alone in her room, Maryam's heart ached. She longed to see her son, to feel his presence, and to hear him speak words of comfort. But Bilal was away on yet another business trip, attending important meetings that seemed to take precedence over family matters. Tears welled up in her eyes as she quietly made dua, asking Allah to guide her son back to the values of respect and love for one's parents. She remembered the verse from Surah Al-Isra 17:23-24, which says, "And your Lord has decreed that you not worship except Him, and to parents good treatment. Whether one or both of them reach old age, while with you, say not to them so much as, 'Ugh,' and do not repel them, but speak to them a noble word. And lower to them the wing of humility out of mercy, and say, 'My Lord, have mercy upon them, as they brought me up when I was small.'" Maryam's heart was heavy, but she held on to her faith that Allah would soften Bilal's heart and bring him back to his family. Bilal returned from his trip a few days later, his mind filled with thoughts of business expansion and new opportunities. As he entered his family home, he noticed that his mother looked weaker than usual, but he brushed it off, thinking she was simply tired. After a quick meal, Bilal retreated to his room to continue working on his business plans. Harith, his father, knocked on his door that evening and asked if they could talk. "Bilal," Harith began gently, "your mother hasn't been well lately. She's been feeling weak, and I think it's time we visit the doctor." Bilal sighed, feeling a wave of frustration. "Father, I'm really busy right now. I'll take her to the doctor tomorrow. I've got an important meeting tonight." Harith looked at his son, disappointment flickering in his eyes, but he didn't push further. As he left the room, Bilal felt a twinge of guilt, but quickly brushed it aside, returning to his work. That night, Bilal had a restless sleep. In his dreams, he saw his mother sitting alone, weeping. He heard her voice, weak and trembling, reciting a verse from the Quran. It was the same verse from Surah Luqman, 31:14. "And we have enjoined upon man care for his parents. His mother carried him, increasing her in weakness upon weakness, and his weaning is in 2 years. Be grateful to me and to your parents. To me is the final destination." Bilal awoke in a cold sweat, his heart pounding. The dream disturbed him deeply, leaving him with a sense of unease he couldn't shake. The next day, Bilal kept his promise and took his mother to the doctor. The news was sobering. Mariam's condition was more serious than Bilal had anticipated. The doctor explained that her health had deteriorated due to stress and overexertion, and she needed rest and care. As they drove home, Bilal felt a surge of guilt wash over him. How had he become so blind to his mother's suffering? He had been so focused on his business that he had failed to see what truly mattered. That evening, Bilal sat with his parents for the first time in weeks. He listened as his father shared stories of his childhood, and his mother spoke softly of her dreams for him. Bilal realized how much he had missed. He had been so consumed by worldly success that he had neglected the very people who had made it all possible. He thought again of the Quranic verse from Surah Al-Isra. The words echoed in his mind, reminding him of the sacred duty he had toward his parents. He resolved to change, to be a better son, and to fulfill his responsibilities with love and humility. One evening, as Bilal sat with his father in their garden, Harith spoke words that Bilal would never forget. "Bilal," Harith began, "you've always been a hard worker, and we are proud of what you've achieved. But never forget that wealth and success mean nothing if they come at the cost of family. Allah has given us parents as a blessing, and it is through our obedience and care for them that we earn His mercy." Harith then shared another verse from Surah Al-Ankabut, 29:8. "And we have enjoined upon man goodness to parents, but if they endeavor to make you associate with me, that of which you have no knowledge, do not obey them. To me is your return, and I will inform you about what you used to do." Bilal listened carefully, absorbing the wisdom in his father's words. He realized that he had been blessed not only with wealth, but with the love and guidance of his parents, and it was his duty to honor that blessing. Years passed, and Bilal continued to thrive in both his personal and professional life. His parents grew older, and their needs increased, but Bilal never wavered in his commitment to them. He made sure they were cared for, spending as much time with them as possible, and fulfilling their every need with love and respect. One day, Harith fell ill, and the family knew that his time on this earth was nearing its end. As Bilal sat by his father's side, holding his hand, Harith smiled and whispered, "My son, you have brought me peace. You have honored me and your mother, and for that, Allah will reward you." Harith's words brought tears to Bilal's eyes. In that moment, he realized the true meaning of the verse he had learned long ago, the one that had echoed in his dreams and guided his actions. "And your Lord has decreed that you not worship except Him, and to parents, good treatment." As Harith passed away peacefully, Bilal knew that he had fulfilled his duty as a son. He had learned that respect and obedience to one's parents is not just an obligation, It is a path to Allah's mercy and a key to true success in both this world and the hereafter. Bilal's journey of rediscovery was a testament to the importance of respecting and obeying one's parents. Through his experiences, he learned that wealth and status could never replace the blessings that come from fulfilling the rights of his parents. His story serves as a reminder to all of us that the love and care we give to our parents are among the most sacred of duties, one that brings us closer to Allah and earns His favor. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Quranic Journey to Islam for more videos like this.